Oh man. Test, test, test. Audio good, good, good. Test. Oh, no rush. Oh, I just got, oh. All right, looks like we're up. Got some people in here. Wait for it. Yeah. Hey everybody, if you're just tuning in, we're going to be live here in just a few minutes. We're going to be talking about the new V71 TG full tower case from Thermaltake here at Computex 2017. So just hang tight, and if you guys want to start joining in on the conversation, I'll be glad to take your questions and comments. And yeah, let's talk about the new V71 here from Thermaltake. So just a couple more minutes, folks. Hey everybody, we're back here at Thermaltake Live for Computex 2017, and my name is Mike Fearheller. I'm the product manager here for Thermaltake USA. And today I am very lucky to have our new V71 TG full tower case here from Thermaltake. Now this is one of our new case designs. I mean, we've re-engineered a new full tower case to offer even more options for users looking to fit both air and liquid cooling solutions. And of course, we gave it a nice tempered glass treatment as well. So we're going to talk about this here. I see we got some people live already on the feed. And if you guys have any questions about this as we kind of go through, I mean, I'm all about liquid cooling. I love to talk about it. So I definitely look forward to any of your guys' particular questions. Or, as far as how you do liquid cooling. I mean, are you somebody that maybe is looking into doing it? Or are you currently running either an air cooler only or AIO? We have lots of options with our chassis, and the V71 is definitely no exception to stuff like that, where we can offer multiple options for users to, kind of make it your own, right? And this right here, if everybody can kind of see, it's right here in the front. You can see our nice, beautiful Riing Plus fans. So those fans are now out in the market. We have those available in a 120 millimeter and a 140 millimeter fan solution that supports up to 5 fans per controller. Now, originally we launched these Riing Plus fans with a 3-pack solution, and we've just recently offered a 5-pack solution as well that's coming out into the market. And if you're also looking to get like that individual fan, if you're an early adopter and picked up those 3-fan packs, stay tuned as we will be supporting you guys by offering a single fan option with just the bare bone fan that you can buy to add on to like do a 4th fan or a 5th fan there, so that way you can complete your build the way you want it. So we've been listening to your guys' feedback and trying to bring out and offer these other solutions and little details. We have new online stores like ttpremium.com. ttpremium.com is your one-stop shop for all premium products here from Thermaltake, and we definitely want everybody to be able to get those ins and out parts, be able to get some access to hard to find liquid cooling parts, especially when you're in the middle of a build and you need an extra fitting or just a certain particular cooling part if something has failed. ttpremium.com for giving you probably one of the best options and availability for products globally here from Thermaltake. We've recently expanded to different regions, so definitely check out our other websites. But yeah, definitely check out ttpremium.com. Now with the Riing Plus fans, being able to offer some more options, we know a lot of people have definitely liked the addressable LED solution, and I mean you can see it's just looking gorgeous here in our View 91. Now with our View 91, we have this one particularly configured with 3 fans in the front, and then one of the unique things that I definitely want to first talk about here with the View 91, besides this amazing butter smooth swivel 5mm tempered glass door, is the fitment options inside. So with this door, it comes just like this. It has 2 screws that actually mount and secure the tempered glass to the panel. This is 5mm thick, so it's a little bit thicker to give a little bit more support, you know, and be able to last longer. And one of the great things about it is these hinges on the back allow you to easily open the case, be able to access the inside, be able to get all the information in there, and be able to you know, look at all the stuff that you have without this door just falling off. I mean, you know, we've seen other people that have done multiple screw panels there where, like, you know, trying to get that last screw off, and it can definitely be a little bit of a challenge, especially when you're doing it like the first time. So being able to offer this kind of like hot rod style suicide door look with a case, especially on both sides of the View 71, this really gives a nice clean feature, and you still get a nice crystal clear view with this nice tempered glass, full tempered glass panel. Now, one thing a lot of people have probably been asking is, how do you remove it? It's that simple. You just lift it up and off, and we can take the panel off very easily to clean it and maintenance, and it just slides right back on. These are nice solid brackets back here for the swivel that's built into the case, so it definitely looks like it's gonna, you know, hold up for the time of being able to take the panel on and off and on and off. You know, we tried to think about a lot of different things, you know, and how people are going to use the product. Not just like, this is a fancy case, it looks all shiny, buy it, you know, we'll give you a good price, but to be able to say like, hey, this is something we want you to use for years to come. Maybe not just for this system as well. So with the View 71, if I want to just kind of turn this here so we can get it into the camera a little bit better. And definitely, guys, if you guys have any questions. Now, first off, we got a question here. How much is that? So this right here is the View 71. MSRP in the US is going to be $169.99. And with that, with this case, it's going to be coming in at a great price. There might be some variances across different regions, so don't quote me on the price as far as what it ends up being out there, but at least to give you guys a ballpark of what you're going to be looking for as far as the price of this new chassis. Now, we've added the vertical GPU mount to this case. It's something that we've added with a lot of our new chassis here for Computex, and a lot of that is thanks to our new TT Premium riser cable. We've definitely figured out our riser cable, being able to give it proper performance and being able to compete with proper benchmark scores as well. We know people were definitely looking to get a perfect solution that's going to be straightforward and then be able to if they're going to do water cooling or they're going to do air cooling, at least to be able to offer them 2 options, because this is an 8+2 configuration. And what that means is that you have 8 slots down the back, traditional, for, you know, being able to put multiple graphic cards, you know, sound cards and so on in there. But then it also offers a 2-slot vertical, so that way you could put your GPU here in the front, and then it also gives you plenty of space. If you kind of, with the riser cable, it is flexible enough to put like a sound card and other little small items here in the back behind it as well. We are looking to get some feedback from you guys if you want to see or hear any more information about maybe a dual card solution. And then of course with this vertical GPU mount and our amazing riser cable, we have another new feature with the View 71, which is our new radiator fitment option. So traditionally you can mount a radiator on the top and the front for most cases, especially around this price point. So this case will support a 360mm radiator on the top as well as on the front, but we've done one thing better. We've added the radiator mount here to the side, taking the same idea from our Core P5 and our Core P3 line to be able to offer you that fan front look with the radiator mounted here in the side. And with that, the one thing I really like about this, I mean, especially me as a builder, and I'm doing you know, hard tubing, and I don't really know exactly how I'm going to do my run or how much exact space I'm going to have. I mean, really, it is one of the challenges of modding and building a system is just kind of plan it all out, right? So with this radiator, we've added additional fitment options in the back and sliders to support either a 120 or 140 radiator sizing, and then being able to adjust that front and back, or, you know, side to side here through the back plane. I mean, if you can catch back in here, there's additional sliders, so that way if you want to move the radiator more towards the back of the case, you can. And then with that, giving you the options here, you definitely still have front panel access to put more fans to get nice clean air coming through. And speaking of clean air with the V71, if you've noticed here as we've done the video, all the tempered glass panels aren't just affixed right against the panel itself. There is a nice little gap right here, folks. It's about a 1/4 inch gap off the standoffs here on all the panels around. And what that does is it allows you to do some more airflow. It doesn't create too much of a high static pressure with the case, and it gives you proper airflow for cool air coming in as well as heat exhaustion going out. Filtrations, of course, all through the top and the bottom for the case as well as the front. And then with that and the radiator mount, we also have our pump mount here. Of course, this is a custom loop. We're using our new RGB fittings. So these are our new RGB fittings. Of course, you see that glow and getting that nice glow here on the tube with the green cool opaque coolant that we have in here. Now with this radiator and pump, we've listened to a lot of the community about different ways pumps are mounted and you know, the fitment space. I mean, sometimes there's only like a couple options to where the pump can go. You know, you can only put it right here. So we've added some additional channeling and slots here on the bottom of the case to not only be able to support the reservoir and pump from going front and back on the chassis, but also going in and out, so that way you can kind of recess it back a little bit more if it makes sense for your hard tube build, or if you want to extend it out a little bit more so it kind of shows off for GPU clearance, depending on what you're going to put in there and depending on what you're going to do. And it's just something that we've really been thinking about. I mean, we build systems here and we enjoy building systems. We want to make sure you guys enjoy them too as we put these products together and make them available out in the market. So Wesley Stokes says the RGB fittings are the best I've used, no leaks and able to change colors without changing fluids. Thanks so much for the feedback, Wesley. That's awesome to hear. I've definitely built a few. I think that the RGB fittings are definitely something that's very unique. You do have, one thing that I've learned, you know, since you brought it up, one thing that I learned, so with these RGB fittings, the tube itself, instead of going into a sleeve like that, it actually has a post on it with O-rings. So the O-rings actually go inside the tubing. And one of the things that I learned that made it real easy for me, and maybe for you if I'm helping anybody else out there, is to deburr the inside of the tubing. So if you take the little deburr tool, and you know, you kind of, you know, it's the little red one, I wish I had one here, but you know, to kind of spin and just deburr the inside of the tubing, it goes a long way. It allows you to be able to get that, the tube to slide onto the post properly without slipping the O-rings, and that way you get a nice watertight fit. Wow, can you give me one? I really wish Wenz will probably maybe do a contest down in the future, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels, our Facebook, and our social media. I mean, this is a new case. I'm definitely excited for this. I'd love to do another build giveaway or something like this in our new V71, or just offer the cases out there. So make sure you guys all subscribe and you're here on you know, our channel so you can stay tuned. Don't miss out on something like this. I mean, we got a lot of new products going out there, and you know, for Computex, and you know, with those products coming out, you know, we definitely want to try to get some feedback from you guys. So stay tuned for lots of awesome contests and everything from just all over the world from Thermaltake. Now, we got these RGB fittings. These things are great. It allows you to be able to link up and be able to do different colorations with this. I mean, you can actually take these and change the color of the light in here. So when you change the color, it actually can change also the color of the coolant that you use. So if like a pure clear solution where it's just basically like water, or like a clear option, it gives you basically liquid RGB with our new RGB fittings. And then if you combine it with like a UV type of coolant or different other colors that can be really interesting with like a blue or a red or a green, it can really light up and make a really neat indiglow type of look. Something you definitely can't get from traditional LEDs that are mounted inside the chassis. You want to send me a Core P5 and some fittings. Philippe, send me an email, bro. I'll definitely see what I can do to help you out, man, of course. And definitely thanks for the feedback and jumping in here. Can you change the colors? Yeah, Chris, let me... For this is actually right here. Where did it go? Let me see if I can find out where it went. I can't remember where it went. But I'll have to see what I can find. Let's see. That controller for it. I don't know if we might put it here on the back side. Let me see. And if you guys have any other questions, you know, I'm just trying to kind of show off some of the fittings here and stuff. So let me just get this out. But yeah, if you guys have anything else you want to know, let me know, man. I'll be glad to take this thing almost apart if I have to. So let's see here. I should have my controller, because I think, is it all linked up? Or did they put it on the top? Well, give me a second here. I'll find out what's going on with those, where that controller actually went. I apologize, I didn't personally build this one, or I would know exactly where it is. Let's see if I can get the top off here. While I'm doing that, I just want to kind of show you guys this too, because I think this is really neat. So the top panel of the case is top panel with you know, the tempered glass built in. So this all comes off in one piece, and I really like it. It's really sturdy and everything. Did we, where did he say it was? Oh, okay, so it's for demo and stuff. All right, so I apologize about that, folks. This was set up for special demo purposes only, because, you know, not every particular system has a 7700K in it that's quad SLI with, you know, crossfire and everything. So we just definitely try to show what we can. We do have some other options out there in the show, so we'll definitely try to, you know, get some of that. And then also, we'll be doing some more live streams, of course. So, you know, we'll probably try to cover a little bit of that on our next build. So thanks for the question. So let's see, 1080 Ti. This one right here, I believe I'm looking at this. This is just a reference. This is, I think 980. No. This is a 1080 reference card. So basically with this, we got the Gigabyte. This one that's back in here, we got our Gigabyte board. We got the V-Color M.2 in here. We have the T-Force LED RGB memory. And then, of course, we got our W4 block back in here. We got a new W4 block that's really, really awesome. It's called the W4 Plus. We came out with the W4 originally, and we got some really good success with it, the little hockey puck kind of looking with the TT Premium logo. We really like the new logo and everything, too, and we appreciate all the feedback. With the new W4 Plus, it actually offers 12 independent LEDs that cycle around the system. If you guys watched the live stream or overview that I did earlier here for Computex, you'll see when I sat down with our Core P7 that I went over all of that with our new water block and kind of showed that whole new RGB ring sync system that we have going on for our new RGB products. All right, so we're here. Let's see. Anybody else got any other questions for me? So we're looking at this, and you know, I'm already thinking here with dual radiators, it gives you a lot of options. You can take a dual radiator doing a top and either a side or front mount, and it allows you to do some really interesting tubing. The other thing that's kind of convenient as well is you can probably see here in the camera is that the way this is configured, like how do you set up a liquid cooling build? I mean, what's the best way to go? I mean, is there a wrong way? Is there a right way? I mean, as long as you kind of complete the circle of life, from going to a pump to a component to be cooled and then return, you're usually pretty good. But then with stuff like this, you can add and do a little bit more, not just for the aesthetics look of it, but also for just optimizing your performance. I know it doesn't go a long way, but it looks cool. So when you add two radiators, you can always have the coolant, say for example, this one is set up to come out of the pump and it goes into the radiator first. So that's one way you can do it. Some people like to go straight into the component first. There's really no right or wrong way. It's just as long as you got enough flow and you got enough air cooling the radiator space that's going to be comparable to the heat exchange that you're creating, you know, from these awesome components you have. So if we have the coolant going into the radiator, it's going to be cooled, and then it's coming out of the radiator going into the CPU block. Now, one thing when you're combining like a CPU and a GPU solution that's underwater is that I can go from the CPU to the GPU if I wanted to, but if, like with this with our V71, if I wanted to add, since I have options to do two radiators, I can now have the coolant be cooled in the radiator here on top before it hits the GPU. So I can ultimately try to optimize my coolant temperatures, you know, from the heat exchange that I get off the CPU from the GPU, so it's kind of separated. And then again, like I said, it looks really cool and it gives you a really neat look. This is the T-Force RGB memory. These are the Nighthawks. These are the T-Force Nighthawks. So check those out. And big thanks and support to them for you know, supplying us with the memory for the build. I don't know if we'll be able to kind of get a close-up picture in here of the memory. If we can maybe get right in here just so we can kind of take a look at that. But it's kind of different. You know, it's neat. It's good to see some other people out in the market offering some RGB solutions for some memory. All right, let's see. Anton, when my friend was building his computer, I almost drank the coolant fluid thinking it was Mountain Dew. He put it in a glass. Man, it's so funny. You know, I've done a lot of systems where, you know, we're draining a system or doing whatever. I mean, a lot of people, you put the tube on there and you want to blow the air to, kind of push the coolant out of the GPU block. And, unfortunately, I've had my fair share of coolant taste tests. And yeah, it's definitely not something I recommend. And yeah, I mean, a good old nice cold glass of Mountain Dew would actually be really nice right now. It's definitely something I'm personally missing from home and everything. Go Mountain Dew. It's a little too cloudy for me. But with this, being able to cool just the CPU and then be able to have it go through another radiator before it goes back into the GPU to then be cooled, and then of course return back into our pump reservoir to complete the cycle. There are many different ways that you can do it. And one of the great things about a DIY custom loop build is you can always expand. So if it's not something that you want to do today and you don't want to get so far into this, or you just want to say, hey, I want to get my feet wet, Thermaltake, and I just want to just do a basic CPU cooling solution, I can have a single radiator, I can get some fittings, I can get some tubing, and I can cool my CPU to start. You can set up and mock up your fittings and your tubing to do something very simple. You don't have to do a bunch of crazy runs. There are definitely additional fittings that you can buy that will allow you to be able to avoid, or, I guess you would say learn how to. You can use those fittings to your advantage. I mean, there's a lot of people that do builds that I've seen where, maybe those tools aren't available, or they just don't want to get into it too far, but they still want that hard tube look. Always look into different 45s, 90s extensions and extenders that you can use with the tubing, so that way it gives you a nice, clean presentation on it. Will the car fit and text mode? What do you prefer processor, AMD or Intel? Well, personally, Richard, I would say, I've definitely been interested in what AMD's been doing. I've been talking with AMD about a lot of their new solutions that they have, so I'm very excited for what they have. But, Intel is definitely what I'm personally using at home for gaming, and that's just my personal preference. But this here is the V71. This is our new chassis that's going to be coming out here for Thermaltake for 2017. I'm very excited for this. Stay tuned, as we're going to be doing some builds back in the US on the V71. If you guys like to see anything specific about it, let us know. We'll be glad to offer and show that to you later. If you have any questions or anything about the V71, drop it down in there and we'll be able to go with that too. Yes, it supports ATX motherboard, and you have proper fitment here to support up to an 8+2 configuration if you're just joining in. So this right here, folks, is the new V71 TG here from Thermaltake. My name is Mike Fearheller, aka Thermal Mike from Thermaltake USA, and we really appreciate you guys coming out here and joining us for our live stream. Take care and see you next time.